Okay.
Okay. Hey everyone, this is Desmond Ong here. I'm going to do a quick short interview here with Fui San. Fui San, say hi.
Hi.
So Fui San attended my first Platinum Mastery program, and then she took interest in what my company does in terms of what we're providing. Because Fui San, you used to work in a digital marketing agency, yet you left the company, which you buy out your own contract, which is a very expensive contract, and you chose to come and work with me where I promote myself or my digital products, my webinars, my events. What was the distinction between working in a digital marketing agency and working with a real internet marketing company?
I think working for an agency, we're more looking from branding side, which we promote the brands for our clients. So not more on the sales side, but working in an internet marketing company that I learned how to generate real sales that really brings the customer, the sales in, not just the branding stuff.
But wouldn't you agree that a lot of digital marketing agency, their number one priority is to prolong the client as part of the contract? For example, let's say if I'm a digital marketing agency, my job is to keep them hooked, for them to keep spending money, and I don't really care about how much profits they make. I don't really care about how much employment they're taking on. All I care about is them spending money with me. Don't you agree, or do you think that's totally false?
I think I agree with that. We want them to stay with us, pay us more to do more, but not really on the result side.
Mm.
We just want them to spend money with us.
So, for example, now you understand why so many businesses, when they know that I'm around, they know that I have spot, they approach me and say, "Hey, Desmond, I would like to pay you double of what other digital marketing agency is charging because you care about the sales. You don't care about the likes. You don't care about the
Yeah,
fans because those means nothing because you can't buy a bag of rice. You can't buy anything with fans and likes, don't you think?"
yeah, that's true.
Because you've seen both sides. You've been in a line where you were helping other people gain more awareness and as well as more likes, and then you'll help me when you come into my company. I think the big distinction is that we are very number focused in
Yes.
terms of we want to run campaigns that make money. We don't run campaigns that lose money. We're not like agency where they play in a way that it's not my money, so I'm just gonna waste out the budget as quickly as I can. I get paid per budget anyway. So that is the major distinction. And Fuson, I want you to know also that there are a couple of students. What they do is that they're very smart. They know because of this particular reason, they don't come to the workshop or the Platinum Mastery program to learn to change their lives or anything of that sort. They want to start their own agency, but they want to start an agency that cares about the clients. And that is why these people, these students of mine, they're able to command so much higher price than agency. They don't need like 20, 30 employees. They work two people, they make over 50,000 ringgit per month in sales revenue, helping clients in the tourism business. And one of the method that I taught you, which for example, don't review too much because I want to keep these people surprised and engaged. One of the method that I taught you was to run a certain kind of Facebook ad before you run the proper ad. How powerful? How much do you think that is worth if money is not a concern, and how much is that trick or that strategy worth to you?
That strategy at least worth half of the, like 1,000 over that
Okay.
little trick.
Because let me ask you a question. A lot of people, they just run Facebook ads just like that, and that's why they don't even know why
Yeah.
they're losing money. They don't even know why people are not clicking. And I think you see a lot of Facebook ads nowadays where they use Jack
Yeah.
Ma's face, our Prime Minister's face. We don't need to do anything of that sort. We played a very legal, ethical, and legit game, and that's why we're getting very, very good result. And talking about result, why don't you share the result of May 2017, what you have done in terms of total sales in the span of less than 30 days?
So in May, we have generated around 250,000 sales.
Okay. And how much do you spend to make that 250,000?
We spent around 7,000+.
Okay. So the thing is, I want most people to know this. You don't need 7,000 ringgit sitting around to run these ads, right? You can just start with $5 a day.
Yeah, sure.
Because most people may think, oh, if I want to make 100,000, I need to find 7,000. Well, number one, you probably have 7,000 sitting around, $7,000 in crap. You can sell off a lot of those crap on Carousel, on eBay, and you can raise 7,000, put it on the Facebook ads. Use my method, and if you have the same way I run things, you could potentially make up to 250,000. But I want most people to know this. Don't be scared of the 7,000. I think you can start with just 70 ringgit, and you could potentially bring back maybe, I don't know, like 10,000 ringgit. Don't you think so?
Yeah, true. I
And you've
think
seen that happen, right?
with the knowledge they can gain in the workshop, they can definitely do it.
So it's not about having a lot of money. It's not about spending a lot of money. It's about having the right knowledge, right?
Yes, you have to know how to do it, how to avoid the mistakes, and to know the effective ways.
So even yesterday, I was talking to you, I think on the phone yesterday or the day before, I was telling you something, and you had sort of like a breakthrough. I'm not sure if it's a big breakthrough or small breakthrough. We talk about traffic plus conversion and how
Yes.
it affects the pricing of Facebook ads. Now, I think most people who don't run Facebook ads, they probably don't know what I'm talking about. But how valuable is that one tip? How valuable is that to you?
That really valuable. Like, I'll pay maybe 1,000, 2,000.
Just for that one tip, just
Yeah.
for one sentence of it. I
Yes.
just gave you two sentences. The whole conversation was two sentences.
Save a lot of effort and like clear all the problem, that I know where's the real problem is, not wasting more money on it.
Mm. So a lot of people also say that, Desmond, you're very stupid to have Fui Sun to run your Facebook ads, because a lot of people, they critique my Facebook ads because you run my Facebook ads. They know it's not my style. But you know that I always, no matter who you are, if you trust me, because you trusted me, you were in a very safe job, yet you left your job to come and join me when we have such a huge change in the company, and you gave up on that. And I believe that because you trusted me, I have to trust you as well. So I want you to know one thing. You've been here for a couple of months. I think couple of months. And do you think that my teaching style is very different than most trainers and most even employers? What do you think about my way of shaping you and molding you?
I think your way is really like a real coach. Like what I did in my previous company, they just send you some stuff to read and get the seniors to teach you what you have to know, the basics, and the rest I have to look online and I have to like test over and over again by myself. But under you, I can learn directly that like you never hide your knowledge, you just give it all to me. So I
Sometimes too
learned
much, right?
it's really quick. I learned so maybe a little bit spoon feed, I would say.
So what
Yeah.
I like to do is that, you see, I don't believe in teaching theories. I believe in working together to fix a problem and to create something big together. And I think that when we're in the training business, because you see behind the scenes now, because a lot of people don't believe me when I say we don't make a lot of money. We totally don't make a lot of money, because even though people feel like, oh, I'm investing a lot into the program, but the money disappear very quickly, mainly because cost of like the event, cost of the preparation. It takes up a lot of money. And I think you can clarify that. Maybe you can talk about that, since you have been in a company for a couple of
Yeah.
months. You can see things behind the scenes now.
We took a lot of effort to produce the materials and a lot of time to arrange it, and our own our own effort to arrange all the things. I think doing an event is not cheap. It's really expensive. All the
Mm-hmm.
costs behind the hotels, the all kind of things. So actually, from my view, I think it's not really profitable doing this kind of seminar.
And it doesn't help that we have
Yeah.
income tax, we have GST, we have
Yes.
credit card tax, and all of these are like just taking our margin. And then we have the organizer fee. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people think that I get to keep all the money. Guys, I wish, but the world doesn't work like that. And we truly, the whole entire investment that you have made for Platinum Mastery Program, frankly speaking, it is just quite enough to cover the cost. We make a little bit, not a lot, but we have to pay for staffing, hotels. When we promote the event and promote the seminars, it all costs money. I want most people to know this. Now, for example, you came to Platinum Mastery Program, you know that it's a very intensive program. It is not one of those where you sit around and you listen to a teacher talking for a long time. And you know that the upcoming one is a totally different one because I'm always getting better. I'm always investing in myself to learn how to train better because you know that my number one motive is to create a lot of success stories. Because even outside of my students, I talk about, oh man, how can I create more success story? Or, oh man, how come this person is not doing this? How come this person is doing this that way? I'm always talking to them about my students. So why don't you talk about what they should prepare, at least mentally, before they come to the event?
I think have to be more open to learn. I think the learning mindset is very important. Don't judge before you can see the result. Actually, you take action, you follow, then you can see actually you can make a difference. And
But for example, talking about judging, I want to stop you, hold that thought. Um, a lot of people judge me because number one, they look at three things. Okay, so there's another very top speaker who is also a friend of mine. He's doing a 3-day event instead of a 2-day event. They chose him because they say, oh, I would prefer 3-day over 2-day because for the same amount of investment, I get 3 days. But what they don't get is that they forgot about the environment that we're building, that it requires money. Sometimes it's not about a number of days, don't you think? It's about how it's conducted.
yeah,
And if you almost didn't join because I only do 2 days and most trainers do 3 days, well, understand this. What we're teaching, we condense it in a way that it's enough for you to get started. You don't need 3 days. In fact, if you want 3 days, you take the Friday off, you rest, come with an open heart and an open mind, and it will be more than enough. Because I don't want to spend the entire day teach you about motivation. For example, you notice motivation expires after 2 weeks. That is why there's so many people who went to Tony Robbins' event. They were so excited, yeah, I'm going to be successful. But when they get back home, they forgot about why they were there in the first place. So that's motivation. Motivation will expire, and people need to understand that. People forget about that all the time. That's why I don't waste a lot of time in motivation. And the way I motivate is through coaching. You tell me, that's when I started this, how do I get forward with this? I push you and I get you to result. And number two, how people judge me, number two, how they judge me is they look at my age, because I'm only 26, I'm turning 27 this year. People say this guy is too young to train. And for example, you work with me, you know that the way I think, it's not 26 or 27.
true.
A lot of people say that my mental age is actually like 40 or 50-year-old because I think in a very different manner, and I care a lot about my students as well as they are my son and daughter and my brother and sister. I care like it's my own family member. I keep sending opportunities even for your class, for example. I didn't say this, I never told anyone this before, but there were a few people in your class who wanted to be a speaker, wanted to be a best-selling author, and I make connection with them with publishers and top event producer in Malaysia, in Vietnam, in Singapore. But they just, it's just one of those things where I always help my students even after the event. I just don't publicize it because I want people to join based on how they see me. And third of all, people always say, Desmond, I Google you online, you don't have a lot of good reviews. And it's the truth. The best people, they always don't have a good review. I mean, really think about it. The only reason why there's bad review about me is because I am a real internet marketer, which means people know me internationally, and there are people who leverage my name to get traffic so that they can sell their own stuff. If you're looking at Google and you're judging me based on Google results, well, are you going to judge Tom Cruise by some casting director who's saying that Tom Cruise is not good enough, right? What I'm trying to tell you is that there are always people out there leveraging my name because I am branded way beyond just Malaysia. I have students internationally in South Africa, in Singapore, in the US, in the UK. In fact, students pay me minimum of $5,000 to work with me online. And for example, I think you know this, one of our clients in the UK paid us $4,800. That was a special discount just for him because he's retiring and I want to help him out. And he has a very interesting market, an interesting reason why he wants to start an online business. And people just pay like that. And I think in Malaysia, a lot of people are very lucky to join at what they're paying right now. In fact, for example, wouldn't you think that the trick that I was telling, the strategy where I tell you to run a certain ad first before you run the real Facebook ad, wouldn't you think that strategy alone is worth the entire class, perhaps more?
Yes.
Yeah, because most
So
people don't do that. In fact, you see big companies, they don't even know how to
yeah,
do that.
we didn't even know that trick.
Yeah, so if you do that, and I mean, a lot of people think buying traffic is just buying clicks. It's more than that. I taught you this. I taught you that there's psychology involved. It's not about the just looking at the numbers, because the numbers sometimes can be fake. You know, Facebook sometimes they fake the number just to get you to spend more money, or just to discourage you from spending money. There's a lot of things that people don't understand because they don't have experience in actually running ads that get sales. Even guys, if you're watching this right now, even if you come and for some reason whatever I teach doesn't work for you, you just feel like, oh my god, it's not me, I don't want to do this. You can still take what you learn and you can consult companies with it. These are the information that you can use to create six figures income for your yearly minimum, just helping businesses, because there's so many businesses out there, they're closing, they're getting out of business because they have no idea how to leverage the internet to do it. In fact, Fuisan, don't you agree that most businesses, since they're so cheap on hiring digital marketers to help them, you know what they do? The way they run Facebook ads is through boost posts. You know boost posts?
Yeah.
And you know that boost posts don't work in terms of getting sales unless you have 1 million fans or 2 million fans or more. It's very hard to be profitable with boost posts in terms of looking at ROI. So when you come to Platinum Mastery Program, rest assured that I am assisting you. Fuisan will be there to assist you for KL, for Penang. She will be gone. But it will be a very interesting, because you're going to learn a lot. And you're going to learn things that is actually very useful. Very advanced. There'll be layers and layers and layers of lessons. In fact, sometimes you don't get it until you go home, because I'm trying to compress everything in 2 days, and then I mean, the event isn't over. Fuisan, you know this, because the last time I ran KL, the event wasn't over, because even after that, I literally forced everybody to jump on a webinar to learn, to get more, to understand more. But Fuisan, I'll tell you the truth. In your class, there were a lot of tire kickers. There were a lot of people who didn't take action. There were a lot of people who talked a lot, and at the end, they didn't do. And that really disappoints me. And you weren't there at the time, but there were a few of associates that you were working with now that saw me at the time. I was very depressed because these people, I guess I was so sure in your group there will be a lot more people who are going to be successful with this. And Fuisan, don't you agree that the reason they are not successful with the program is not because of me, because my system is proven, my process is proven. The only reason they fail is because they choose to fail by not taking action.
True.
Right? For at least you took action, because spending 1 year working with me, it's equivalent to 5 to 6 years of experience on your own.
Yeah.
It's going to cut you a learning curve by so much more. That's why some of the top internet marketers in the US, in UK, in Singapore, they actually want to come to Malaysia and work in my company, because they want to learn from me, and they know that it's the closest thing to personal coaching. And my personal coaching is worth at least $25,000 now. And I want you guys to know this. When you come to Platinum Mastery Program, the only reason you will fail is because you don't follow through your plan. You come here, you're expecting that the 2 days is going to suddenly, just like one click of a button, change your life. It's not going to do that. At the end of the day, I'm gifting you my life's work. I'm cracking my skull open. I'm gifting you my 12 years of experience, $25 million in total sales generated. And I want to give this to you, but I can give this to you, but if you don't do anything with it, it's completely useless. So Fuisan, I want to keep this short. Why don't you just give them one last piece of advice for them to see result with Platinum Mastery Program number 1, and for them to get ready mentally. Because a lot of people, Fuisan, I'll tell you this, a lot of people have yet to send me the videos. A lot of people has yet to reply back to me. A lot of people has yet to watch the video trainings, because I'm tracking. And maybe you can give some advice from your perspective, because my perspective is different, and I want your perspective. And we'll end this interview with your last piece of advice.
So my advice is be open to learn, and the most important thing is take action, because without taking action, nothing will happen. You only can see the miracle after you take action.
Take action. You only see a miracle after you've taken action. Fuisan, how old are you this year?
25.
You're 25, and you run ad campaign worth 250,000 ringgit in 30 days.
Yes.
Most people don't make $250,000 in 30 days. They've never been able to generate $250,000 in 30 days. And that kind of numbers usually people associate with corporate or big $1 million companies. We're a
Yes.
small business. We don't have a lot of people in Malaysia because, you know, I have a trust problem with Malaysian employees. It's a long story, but I want you to know that, number one, you've done a fantastic job, and I didn't do much to help you to get there. All I did was that when you encounter a problem, you let me know what the problem was, and I solve it for you, and then you just keep doing it. And then you just keep fixing it, and then you just keep revamping, and it gets better. And you know that I allow you to make mistake, and you know that I allow you to do, because you know that when you make one mistake, you will never repeat that mistake again, because it's like babies learning how to walk. The moment they fall down, they say, ouch, I will never do it again. They stand up and they learn to walk that way. And for you right now, you have learned to run, to sprint, and let me tell you one thing: you're sprinting faster than Usain Bolt. I've met Usain Bolt before, and you're sprinting faster than Usain Bolt. So, and this is the result that you can potentially see, guys. There's a lot of things that you can get out of Platinum Mastery Program. Number one, if you take action, you can help your family. You can really elevate your lifestyle. And I don't want to talk about the money because Frisan knows this. When I'm in the company, the only reason I'm talking about the money is to cover the cost. That's it. But when it comes to like heart to heart, if money is not a thing in the company, if money doesn't run the company, but the truth is money does run the company. So company without money is not a company. But that's another story. But I think Frisan can attest that I really have my students' progress in my heart, and I really do care about what they can get out of this. But remember this, guys, if you're watching this, to clap, you need two hands. Mine are ready. What about yours? So when we clap, we see miracles. We see successes. So with that said, I want to welcome you to Platinum Mastery Program. I'm super excited, very excited to welcome you. And I'll promise you that this will be the last seminar that you need to attend. And the only reason you attend other seminars is because you are on the next level. And this will be the event that you will never forget. This is unlike any other seminars. This is not like a tuition. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to force to implement a lot. And you could potentially see results in the class if you come with an open mind and an open heart and you trust me as your mentor. With that said, thank you so much for watching this. Thanks, Frisan, for your time. And that's the end of this video. And I hope to see you in Platinum Mastery Program.